And on the topic
Sure, yeah.
of, goodness and the way that we approach crime, another really important part of this is also our prison systems in Canada. And
For sure.
because policing and then leading to prison, that is something that is inherently based on a philosophy of punishment, right? And the results of this within Canada is very high levels of recidivism, which is where people who go to prison end up back in prison at an alarmingly high rate. And this is such an inefficient system, and it's so lacking of humanity. And we've seen, once again, to bring up other countries who are doing this better, because it's insane to not look at other examples. The Nordic countries, such as Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, have a drastically different prison system that's built on a much more humane rehabilitation system. They're treated as people and given much more freedoms. The guards don't walk around armed, and through their humane prison systems, they have a drastically lower level of recidivism. The people who go to jail in the Nordic countries don't end up going back to jail at nearly the same rate. So there's so many facets of our legal system, our police system, our prison system that are just so inherently flawed, just at its very foundation.
Yep.
And these are not things that are being addressed, and it's not the responsible thing to not address them, because there is a better way, and we've seen the better way.
Mm-hmm. And that has a lot to do with the war on drugs as well, because laws, particularly in the United States, I mean, like drug laws here are much more relaxed. Although under the Harper administration, he did really ramp up, mandatory minimums and stuff like that. But like essentially, what happens is that these non-violent criminals are put in with gang members, they're put in with murderers, and all this sorts of stuff. So these otherwise normal people, they get sent into prison being nonviolent drug offenders, and they leave prison hardened, or more often than not hardened, and more likely to engage in a violent criminal act that sends them back there. So it's just like it's just a completely unsustainable system.
And the prisons do nothing to help address, helping once they get out of prison, helping to rebuild their lives. It's more of, okay, your sentence is up, good luck.
You have you do have what is it? What are they called? Like parole officers. I know people that have but it's basically just like they don't actually give you anything. It's just like, are you working? Like, come back and report to us. Like, you can't in certain cases, like okay, don't smoke weed, don't do drugs, don't drink, get a job. You're on your own. Come back and report to us. Stay out of trouble. Like.
Mm-hmm. Parole officers are more based on keeping an eye in case you're going to do something wrong, as opposed to helping you get your life organized and together.
Mm-hmm.
It's, once again, just punishment as opposed to rehabilitation, and it's not acknowledging the humanity of other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's degrading.
Let's not forget that while Indigenous people make up, is it 5% of Canada, or is it less than 1%? It's a very, very small.
It's something like 2.2 million people, so I don't know how that breaks down percentage-wise.
So that would be. Are you sure it's 2.2 million? So that would be almost 9%. Just about.
Last I checked, it was about there.
So if it's that between, it's upwards of 5%, maybe it's about 6 or 7%. I'm very bad at math, but despite that, they make up about a third, if not more, if not over a third, of the prison population in Canada. So I mean, like, whoever really tries to deny the existence of systemic racism in our criminal justice system, in our policing system, are just completely out to lunch, to put it nicely, or fucking insane, to put it realistically.
And I wanted to mention also, sorry, I forgot to mention that recently in one of the articles I was reading, the city of Calgary did decide to reallocate police funds towards crisis services. I don't have the details, but that's enlightening. And also, like, I'm sorry, but like, that's like the city of Calgary is doing that sort of thing before Montreal. That's a bit sad. Like, I feel like Calgary is such a conservative place, and Montreal at least puts. I don't know. That
I
was my
think well
impression.
because the actual big cities in Alberta
I know
not big cities.
Edmonton's more lefty.
Edmonton, but I think
Mm,
Calgary is kind of, I don't know if they vote conservative or liberal, but they are a little bit more left.
okay.
But yeah, but
Okay.
I
Well, that's
mean,
good to know.
for sure, like Montreal has a very radical history. I mean, like
Yeah.
you have to you have to walk maybe 2 blocks to find a group of communists here. Like it's
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
so yeah,
Yeah.
it's